Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Oh, thank you for joining us for the next Crypto Insight series. I'm your host today. My name is Cruz Munoz. I'm the CEO of LCube Studios. So I just want to introduce Crypto Insight for everyone who's a new visitor. So Crypto Insight is a webinar series addressing all things crypto. We're going to be talking about blockchain, NFTs, DeFi, and so on. We have a group of experts, lawyers, accountants, crypto educators who are going to be covering a lot of these topics. This is series two. We're going to be, so we're back with crypto series two, and this is getting started with crypto. In this series, we're going to be exploring the fundamentals, ideas needed to get started with crypto. So some of the topics we're going to be covering today are going to be how to get involved in the industries, how to get involved with the wallets, phrases, address keys, and aggregator sites. It's a lot to cover. We have we have a lot, and then yeah. So before we get started, I just want to tell everybody, please register to our forum, scan the QR code, or you can visit our site, okstudios.io/crypto insight, where you can actually sign up. We're gonna be giving an NFT at the end of the session. So please just do it. It's you don't have to be an expert to have an NFT. You can claim it using your email address, or you can, if you're already advanced, you can intermediate, you can actually claim it using your um, wallet address. So yeah, so I'm gonna be introducing now the team. Um, oh wait, before we get started, we're gonna be talking about how to get started with crypto, right? That's something everyone wants to know. That's why a lot of you are here, and I just want to make sure that you guys understand that there are a lot of platforms out there, um, especially like we have a lot of you guys gonna see it's like getting started in Coinbase. Some people actually use Robinhood to get started. So there's different ways of seeing it. Like if you're looking at it as an investment, are you looking at it in the technology side of it, or it all depends. There's different views, right? Everyone comes with a different industry, different backgrounds, and that's why we're here to teach you and show you all the different ways of getting started with crypto. So today we're going to cover a lot of the fundamentals. um you know so another thing is like how do people buy and sell. They're one of them, of the most popular platform here in the USA is Coinbase, and then you have Coinbase Pro, which is also platforms you can get started with. um and then this is just a platform where you can actually start buying crypto. You can get started with just like as little as $5, or like you can buy whatever amount you want, whatever you have saving. You should start building some interest. But we have our experts who can actually we'll be talking about it in more detail. And there's so many types of cryptos. There's different layers of it. There are different, especially on the technology side of it. So when you're developing technologies, it's like you have a layer one, you have a layer two, and then I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with NFTs and how NFTs are like why it's so rare, so special. So that's why we have this series because we're gonna be covering a lot of that too. So yeah, that's just for you guys to know, there's a difference between also crypto coins and tokens. When you buy it on an exchange, you're buying their token. But there's also like Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, you're actually buying the coin. So it's different. So there's a lot of coins out there in the market, but we're gonna be covering that with our experts. Yeah, so let me introduce the panelists. So right now, I'm gonna introduce Teddy. Teddy Owens is a video specialist. He's also a college educator, and he's found his passion into crypto. And he's hey Louis, let's get on it. Let's just start educating people because we have a vision. We want to take crypto insight to the next level, and just accelerate and adapt, for people to adapt to crypto faster. Because hey, if you're here, let me tell you, you are one of the first ones, like to get started with crypto, because this is in the next 5 to 10 years, this is going to be like a normal thing. Right now, it's like people are like, what is this? How can I get started? You know, oh, I lost money, I gained money. How did that work? So and then that actually brings me to my next panelist, which is Ryan. Ryan, it's an accountant, a professional accountant. He's he was doing for the past 4 years. He's a director of finance in the media company, and then now he's on his own company. He's continued to grow. You guys can follow them on YouTube and Instagram. There are some amazing people, and then Ryan actually is going to be talking about how you can actually keep track of your basis, and how you can keep track of your investments, right? Because you want to know if you're actually making money, losing money, and all of that. But Ryan, the staff is just amazing. They're so great. They got so much knowledge, and I'm so thankful to have them here. And yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna take more time. I'm just gonna right dive into it. I'm gonna pass it on to Teddy and Ryan. Yeah, and yeah, so we're gonna be right back.
All right, with that, hey guys, we're back here for series two. Today we're going to be talking about different types of wallets. I know you guys have signed up on exchanges and stuff, but it's kind of get more detail about it, the pros and cons, and the different kinds of wallets. So I'm back here with Ryan. What's up, man?
Hey, Ryan. Owner of Continue to Grow. And not much. Excited to talk to people about wallets. Kind of like the core thing, right? Of how people get into the space and out of the space ultimately, or and all the in between.
All right, with that said, let's jump right into it. So we kind of want to start off there's two main different types of wallets. The first one is a custodial wallet, and the logo you see next to it is Coinbase. So a lot of crypto exchanges are considered custodial wallets. So when you exchange your fiat onboard onto an exchange, you're to buy crypto, they can store your crypto there and have their own custodial wallet. So what is a custodial wallet? Well, it's a wallet where the seed phrase and passphrase are exclusively controlled by an exchange or by any other centralized entity holding your crypto. So I know this might sound confusing to people that are brand new, like what is a seed phrase and passphrase, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. So basically, yeah, an exchange that kind of pretty much holds it for you. And not on the other hand, the non-custodial wallet, an example was like the most popular one would be MetaMask, is a wallet where the seed phrase and passphrase that you have is exclusively controlled by an individual, meaning yourself. So this type of wallet can be hot or cold. So what's hot or cold? We'll get into that a little bit later. But pretty much a hot or cold, hot means it's online, and a cold means it's completely separated, almost like an external USB drive, which you see the pictures to the left there are a couple examples of some cold wallets.
This is a great explanation on that. Custodial, like what he was talking about, the logos for Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, exchanges like that, basically centralized entities. It doesn't necessarily have to be an exchange either. So it could be something like a Nexo or or Celsius that is like an interest, like earning and like lending platform for crypto. They're also one that would also be a custodial wallet, where they hold your crypto and they hold the keys to those wallets. And yeah, just like what Teddy said with the non-custodial wallets, MetaMask is a great example of one. It's really cool too because it also allows you to have a hot wallet that you have full custody of, that works with different networks. So like Harmony One network, the Ethereum network, and eventually Pulse Chain will be another one that MetaMask that will allow you to have full control. The cool thing about non-custodial is it's the first time we've had the ability to have true private ownership of property.
And when you say that, you're pretty much saying like a custodial wallet is what we currently have right now with our banking system.
Yeah. It's basically the same kind of analog right there. It's like custodial wallets with exchanges is like having an account at a bank, like a Chase Bank or a First United or wherever bank you want to bank at. Or ultimately, if that bank owner or CEO decided to close your account, they could. And it's the same thing with these custodial wallets, like on Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken. They can shut down your wallet at any time they want. Whereas a non-custodial wallet is like basically kind of having money that you have off to the side and under a pillow or buried in your backyard. Like no one knows about it except for you. And the cool thing is with the non-custodial thing is you have the ability with the hot wallet to actually be the exclusive owner of that only moves when you type in these 12 or 24 words. And that's never been the case before now.
Yeah,
so it gives you a lot more power.
And
the cool thing is ultimately it's all public ledger, right? So like they can keep track of it. You can keep track of any address you want on the blockchain. It's just with the custodial wallet, they can actually stop that address from sending anything out if they want to do that, or move the crypto that's in that wallet on the custodial wallet to another wallet that they also control.
And yeah, some people are afraid, that hey, the SEC is going to come crashing down, like going to be coming after crypto. I mean, the first thing they would go after would be the custodials, right?
Mm-hmm. Custodials would be the first one on the chopping block because it's the easiest one they can get to, right? If they go after Coinbase, for example, they have a CEO, they have a board of directors that they can attack and say, hey, if you don't do this, we're going to do this to you. So that's where you see a lot of times why you see these entities go ahead and do that, even though it hurts their customer base, is because they'd rather hurt their customer base and hurt their bottom line there instead of being completely shut down. Yeah, custodial just means someone else has custody of your assets and ultimately control. And non-custodial wallets means you have control of those assets. Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we're going to get into more detail about the custodial wallets and online hot and cold, but that's just kind of a nice introduction, to what the differences between the wallets. So next slide, Ryan, what is a seed phrase / passphrase, and why is there two different terms going on here?
Okay, yeah. So seed phrase, passphrase, those are things that are talked about a lot in the crypto space that maybe just like, I don't know what those mean. Ultimately, it's a series of words generated by certain crypto wallets that give you access to the crypto associated with that wallet. Also, it allows you true private ownership of property. It's something we talked about previously on the previous slide. Essentially, if they don't have those 12 or 24 words, they can F off. And what do I mean when I say they can F off? That means they have no ability to move or do anything with that wallet without those words. So if you keep those words to yourself, which you should, super secret, super private, no one can do anything with those assets there. And that's what allows the true private ownership of the property.
And this is where it gets really tricky. And with crypto being so new, I think will evolve of how we handle seed phrase. That's just my prediction. And where banks now, like, somebody goes into your bank, steals your money, you're insured with the bank, right? They can replace it. Mm-hmm. But here, the situation is if you lose this, it's gone. You're locked out. And this has happened to a lot of people. But also having this kind of a system, it makes it so much more secure. And now what Reason says, seed phrase was kind of the older term. Now it seems like more, the lingo is moving more towards being called a passphrase. But we put them on here so you guys know it's the same thing. You hear seed phrase or passphrase, they're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, and a lot of the importance, even like the image that's there with the words and writing, you don't want to keep a digital footprint of this seed phrase / passphrase, because in the future, I mean, even currently now, we're seeing more and more people are putting all the resources they can towards getting into clouds, getting into digital images, looking for things that look like that image that you're seeing next to the slide. Because if they can get that, they potentially have access to lots of assets or Bitcoin or Ethereum or different things that are of value. So one of the biggest important things is, like what Teddy's saying, is security, where you only have a written version, or there's even things where you can buy where you can have a set that's completely metal, and you can indent into that your actual seed phrase into that yourself manually. So they send you the blank plate, and then you hammer in the letters.
Yeah, and I have one of those right here. It's blank right now. So I just got this Amazon. This is like $8 right now. So you have your 12 to 24 words. Some wallets only need 12, others need 24. And I just kind of started want to give an example of just a letter D. So you take your hammer, they send out kits. So this is like a letter L right here. I could take it here, take a hammer to it, smash it, engrave it in there. So this is fireproof, wet proof, water damage. So if you put on a piece of paper, that you can say something happens, God forbid your house catches on fire, tornado comes through, blows everything out of the way. So this is what's great, goes from here. But one thing, like Ryan said, the digital footprint, and what he means by that is like, do not take a screenshot. Don't even take a picture with your cell phone of your computer monitor when you're setting up. And they'll warn you, said, hey, when you set up a wallet, to be like, write this down. And what they mean is, the digital footprint, because you can like say, oh, I'll take a picture and I'll delete it off my phone. It's not deleted. Once things are digital, it's always there, even on your computer. If you throw it in the trash and then you wipe your drive, so you have an Apple MacBook, you wipe it and resell it, someone could still go on that drive if they really, really wanted to. Say they knew it was your computer in the future, and you're in the news for being a millionaire. Like, oh, I own their old computer. Like, I'm gonna go and find that there's any kind of digital footprint. So just be extra safe. You want to write it down initially on a piece of paper, shred the piece of paper. Or you could already have one of these on standby, and as soon as you get your seed phrase, you can immediately just do it then.
Just a couple one like idea I heard of keeping like a seed phrase, passphrase that looks very inconspicuous but is very effective. Have a piece of paper where you write on it with invisible ink, and just have like the little sheet of paper have like in your sock drawer or something. So it just looks kind of random in there. Things like that are kind of ways to kind of keep your stuff safe. And also maybe you can split your seed phrase up, your 12 or 24, say your 12 words into 4, right? And make it into encrypted yourself, where it's an encryption you came up with, and give it to 4 of your loved ones. So if something does happen to you, they all 4 can come together. A fifth person has like the encryption key for your words, and that's how they can get to your account.
Yeah, so many different techniques.
There's a lot of different techniques.
We were screen sharing, so I didn't really get to see. Since we on screen share, you can kind of see how it's metal here, and this little engraving of a letter D. So you just take the hammer to it. But I just realized we're probably in little tiny squares trying to show stuff here. So yeah, let's talk about when you would actually need to use a seed phrase.
Yeah, so when you would need to use it is when you're wanting to move your assets. If you want to move your assets, that's when you'd want to be using your seed phrase. Otherwise, it's just there for safekeeping until you do need to move your assets. And that's what allows that true private ownership is. Without those words, it does not move. Where if you have land, right? If someone really wanted to take your land, they could just put men on the land, and you couldn't actually use it, even though you own it and you have title to it. If you have money at a bank, they can freeze your bank account if they pressure the CEO of the bank. But with this, if you have $5 billion worth of Bitcoin on a cold storage wallet, that $5 billion of Bitcoin is not moving unless those 12 or 24 words are used.
And when you say moving, like if you want to change it, because you can log in using a regular password to log into your wallet online, but if you want to try to move to another phone, or even
move it to another address.
You want to install like, hey, I'm just going to get on another computer, or like somebody's like, hey, I know he's got money in that account, so I know his password. It's I love my dog 23, whatever the regular password is, and then they try to get on their computer. When they try to install the wallet and sign in your wallet, that's going to need those 24 words.
Yeah,
not just
so
I love my dog 23.
Yep. Yeah, so if someone tries to use the I love my dog 23, they're gonna need those 12, 20 if it's on a new device. It's not just gonna work that way.
So is that what you mean when you said move the assets? Like you try to, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen without those words. And what you're saying too is a great point. You're not gonna be able to view that wallet on a new device unless you have those 12 to 24 words.
So yeah, that's what helps keep it secure. So I don't want people to get confused and be like, you got to type in 24 words every time you need to go into your wallet. It's just just hopefully, put any questions in the chat that if you guys we want to talk about this more after this presentation in more detail. Okay, so now we have seed phrases. We got our wallet set up. We have the security down of kind of what the do's and don'ts. There are two different kind of addresses you use with your wallet. There's a private address and there's also a public address key. And what the private addresses look like is a bunch of random, just a big line of letters and numbers. That's your individual code. Okay, so you can kind of see your public address would be more like an email. That's your individual email. And now they are coming out with kind of like how there's domain sites and stuff. You can buy a domain website. You can buy now a public address that's just your actual address. But currently, when you set it up, it's just going to be a bunch. It almost looks like code, numbers, and letters, and that's your public address. So what is it? It's a public key address where anybody can send you funds to your wallet. So it's kind of like having a PayPal email, or a Venmo account. So if I want to send you something through PayPal, I bought something on eBay, I would send it to your email address, and PayPal has that centralized entity all set up, to take your funds. So wallets can work in the same way. And the opposite of that is private address. So what's the private address? It's like having a password you use on your PayPal account. Only you can access that. Even though somebody could send it, funds using your email, only you can access logging into your account. So if someone gets access to it, they can steal your funds. So private keys can send funds while public keys receive them.
It allows anyone in the world to send things to you, right? But they can't send anything out of that account to somebody else. Only you can do that with your private address / your password. Same exact mechanics. The private address / password is the 12 to 24 words on the crypto side, versus for PayPal or for your Venmo, it'd be just your one-word password to allow you into the account.
So way more secure.
Some more on custodial wallets. So custodial wallets basically are the cryptocurrency exchanges. So the public and private keys are stored on their servers, and they let them access them through your account. Not your keys, not your coins. That's basically
they allow you to.
They allow you, exactly. Yeah. It's like having an IOU. And then centralized exchanges are ideal to turn fiat into crypto, but it's not the best for storing long term. To me, centralized exchanges are kind of like a tool you have in your tool belt, right? So if one exchange maybe has a cryptocurrency that you like, and it has there's no restrictions on taking that cryptocurrency off, you buy it on that. So maybe you buy Phantom on Gemini, and you buy Kusama and Polkadot on Kraken only, and then you buy maybe random coins on Coinbase. But then you move them to a wallet that you control, like a MetaMask or an Exodus or like a Trust wallet. So kind of expound on it's like having an IOU. Some IOUs are better than others. So PayPal gives you an IOU where you have to sell out of the asset to be able to do anything with it, to move it. Where other ones, they'll allow you to move it, but sometimes you run the risk on all of those of them not letting you move anything. So that's what we mean by an IOU.
Yeah, and one of the biggest bullet points right here to always remember: not your keys. They're not officially your coins. And I think we touched on this on series 1 a little bit of this will be a good time to talk about not your keys, not your coins, of certain things that advertise crypto, but is doing the same method right here. Things like PayPal and Cash App, you can buy crypto, but you're really just buying an IOU.
And that's the worst quality IOU that they offer. Because you buy Bitcoin or whatever you buy, they make you sell it and realize a gain or a loss to be able to move that money, that economic power off of their platform.
Yeah, so you pretty much are holding your fiat and saying you have crypto. And if you really want to try to take that, and they're like, oh, okay, let's actually turn it into crypto. And that's the bad thing about exchanges too, is you pay a fee to onboard to crypto, and then when you want to leave to a non-custodial wallet in your private own wallet, you pay another fee to
exit
it off.
Yeah. Yeah, so they charge you coming in and they charge you going out. And then banks charge you in the middle. They charge you going in, they charge you as long as you're there, and then they charge you going out. Crypto basically right now charges you going in, charges you going out.
And
they try to incentivize you with interest.
There. Yeah.
They
They're
pay
giving way more than banks.
Yep. And they incentivize you with interest to stay.
And yeah, even the exchanges, they have pretty decent interest rates too. Like sometimes you might only be able to earn interest on a certain token on an exchange, and you would in your private wallet sitting there. So it's just not, like I said, it's great to onboard, offboard, like Ryan said, but just not for the long term.
Yeah. To me, it's centralized exchanges. Custodial wallets are just a tool in the tool belt. They allow you to get your fiat onto the blockchain and buy different cryptocurrencies that you want. And then if you do take profits or take losses or whatever, hopefully it's only profits. When you take profits, you need to get that money back into the real world. You can take it onto those exchanges, convert it into fiat, and then put it back into your bank account. Although I think in the next 5 years, the converting it will be getting paid in cryptocurrency, and it'll be staying as cryptocurrency. Whether in like other fiat stable coins or central bank digital currency. So there'll be less and less of this turning things in from fiat into crypto.
Another good thing about the exchange is you can convert from one crypto token to another, but you don't need exchanges for that. They actually have, when we'll get to this in the future series, called decentralized exchanges, DEXs, and you can use your private wallet and swap out coins inside your private wallet, and you'll pay fees there too.
Yeah, the decentralized exchanges, like what he's saying, are really a game changer for the crypto space. And as time goes on, those are what's going to be more and more, I feel, used than the centralized exchanges that we have now.
Excuse me. It'd be a good time to talk about, like swapping with inside of a decentralized exchange. I noticed that we can go into DEXs more later, but like having more privacy will be a good thing to bring up.
Yeah, so like on a centralized exchange, you don't have privacy. Like they're monitoring your transactions. Honestly, I feel like they're aggregating the data. Like when you sell, how often you sell, what do you buy, when do you buy it, and they're selling that data to people. If it's on a centralized exchange, similar to like they're tracking everything you do and why you do it, and they're trying to figure out campaigns to be like, well, we released this new one on Coinbase and it sold this much, and we put this much in the campaign. Let's copy that campaign for this next coin they're going to release on Coinbase. So you're having things like that. And then you're also having exchanges that buy these data aggregators like a Coinmarketcap that presents all these cryptocurrencies and the data there. It's kind of going off on a tangent there, but yeah.
That's what I asked for. I mean, it's all information, man, straight up information. So it's awesome. All right, so we'll move on. So flip side of that, non-custodial wallets. These are online wallets, and we kind of already talked a little more detail about that using things like MetaMask. And the thing about online wallets too, there's different ecosystems out there. Different tokens, and some have their own individual wallets, and there's wallets like MetaMask that support multiple ecosystems. So what is an online wallet? It's a wallet that is usually connected to the internet through a company or your own computer, and can be accessed online or through a mobile app, like we talked about. You can use your mobile app. It makes your life way easier, but like I said, you got to be careful without the extra security. Some of these non-custodial wallets use a Chrome extension, which will always be up on your browser. You just click on the icon, and it'll pop up, and you can set some of them to where it can automatically log you out for 5 minutes, 1 minute, 15 minutes for help, keep it more secure. Of course, never want to install one of these on a public computer, going to your library or anything like that.
Yeah. Like what you're saying, they're a lot more convenient with a hot wallet like a MetaMask. But there is risk associated with that too. So yeah, anytime you have especially with the Chrome extension of your MetaMask available, and you go to a new website, if it asks you to connect, like don't just blindly always do that. Only do that if it's a one you know about and you understand it, and then you want to interact with it more. But if it's one you've never heard of and it just randomly pops up and it wants to connect to your wallet, don't accept that.
What kind of risk is happening if you did connect to a bad or spam site?
So the potential, if you connect to a bad one, and it accepts a contract with that website or that to your wallet, it may allow that website to then send funds from your wallet, even though you don't think that's what you're actually agreeing to when you do that with the website.
And if you connect the wallets, it's possible to have what's called an airdrop. Someone could send you something. Someone could send you an NFT or funds, and if that ever happens, never interact with it.
Yeah, never interact. If you just if you have a random coin that just shows up in your wallet, don't touch it. Just leave it there. Don't try to move it. Don't try to convert it into USDC or some stable coin or another cryptocurrency. Just it's a phishing attempt, most likely, potentially. It's not worth the risk.
And this kind of goes back to series 1, and people that watch series 1, we're talking about like, well, how do you find these safe sites to connect to if you want to use them the best way? And we'll kind of show you at the end of this PowerPoint the websites kind of go to find official sites. Always make sure you're connected to safe sites.
And if you have like a hot wallet, a MetaMask, and you have websites you go to regularly, bookmark that website. So you're not trying to type it in, you're not trying to Google it every time. Just bookmark the website that you're going to, that you connect your hot wallet to. And then from there, it's just a matter of click through the bookmark tabs, go to that, connect your wallet. So you're not having to look it up every time or maybe miss key, because these hackers that go through, they'll buy all kinds of domains that are like one letter off, or it's one letter switched on the off, and make it look like an exact copy of the real website, with the thought of people that randomly type it in and don't really look at it will just automatically connect in their wallet.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And now a lot of these future tech sites and everything are now, instead of using .coms, they're doing .ios.
Yeah.
So if you say look for metamask.io, if you type in metamask.com, it could be a phishing site.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a phishing site that looks exactly like the metamask.io version.
Yeah. So yeah, just be very cautious.
Yes. Yeah. So Teddy covered the non-custodial hot wallet. This is going to be the same thing, but with the offline or hardware wallet, aka cold wallets. So with cold wallets, basically it's USB sticks that store your public and private keys for you, that are protected by a 24-word key phrase. So this is the seed phrase slash passphrase that we were talking about earlier, where you can unplug it offline, which is really safe, and nobody will have access to them. And that's kind of the biggest sell for these cold wallets. The ability to have your assets on an offline, completely offline, makes it to where no one can actually get that unless they physically know where the device is and they know what those words are. If your dog chewed up your Trezor or your Ledger, as long as you still have the 24 words, you can order a new one and just use the key phrase to do that.
And it goes back to making sure that's the most secure thing you can have, is that seed phrase.
Yep. Yeah. So and that's kind of that's the most secure. And it's one of those things where you don't have to keep all of your money on this cold device, right? You can keep a portion of it on this cold device that's going to be there for the next 5 to 10 years that you're looking at as retirement, right? You can put that amount and maybe even split it, where you have like 1 or 2 these cold wallets that has a portion of the stuff you have, where you keep 2 different 24 key phrases. And then you can keep a portion that's on a hot wallet that you have active, that you're going to be using and moving around and doing things with.
Right. Yeah. And there's pros and cons of this. It's a big pro is it's safe and secure. Con is like you might want to have some of your crypto living online to be gaining yield and interest and things like that. So it's just not active. It's just kind of completely separate. It's just there, like Ryan said, especially for long term. You're not going to touch it. You just want to keep it secure. So just always think of that as well.
And I'd recommend everyone keeps a portion of their cryptocurrency assets in a cold wallet like that for the rainy day. Because if you have your stuff connected to a hot wallet and mostly on custodial wallets, well, if the custodial wallet exchanges shut down, you don't have access to that crypto anymore. If you have your crypto that's connected to a hot wallet and those websites or anything that the hot wallet's connected to shut down, then you have no access to it. But at least you'd at that instance have the cold wallet amount that you still have set aside for a rainy day.
Yeah.
That no one has access to.
Another question too, yeah, about people was like, okay, when should I start investing in a hardware wallet? Because these things do not come cheap. They're always average around $100 and up. From research that I've kind of in recommendations that I've heard and just kind of being out in the space is like, if you're getting to like the $10,000 mark, that's where it's a really good idea to just go ahead and start offloading. You don't want like all that to be floating on the internet. It's good to take a portion off, especially around that amount. Do you agree? Yeah,
I agree. When you get to a portfolio that's around 10,000 or more, keeping a portion of it into a cold storage is a good idea. It's a very safe way to be. Also, too, if you do order a cold storage wallet, you should order directly from the manufacturer only. So directly from Trezor, directly from Ledger only. Don't get on Amazon, don't get on eBay or Facebook Marketplace and buy a hard cold storage wallet off of that.
Excellent point. Why is that? Like, what could happen?
So the reason for that is, and this has happened a lot in the space where people have done that. You'll get the cold storage wallet. You'll have the 12 or 24 words that are associated with it, and you'll be able to use it for maybe 6 months, maybe a year, and nothing's going to happen. You'll be able to put assets on there, take them off, so they know the public address that wallet is associated with. So they can see, okay, they've got this much on there, that much on there. They're basically going to let you kind of fatten up the wallet and then take everything off once it gets fat enough. And the reason why they do that is they already know what the 24-word phrase is before they mail it to you. So they know what the actual way to get into the piggy bank is, and they're just kind of waiting for you to pull the piggy bank up before they break it open. Because they know once they break it open, which is them taking the funds off of it, you're not going to put any more new funds on that.
Yeah, excellent point. And what Ryan was saying, you want to get it from the manufacturer. There's just about like, well, how do I know exactly which is the website? So the top two ones that I think we recommend are the Trezor wallet and Ledger. And if you registered for this webinar, you're going to be getting a document with all the websites of everything we're talking about with this presentation. The aggregator sites. So what are they? Well, they're platforms that collect inputs from various exchanges. We talk about exchanges as Kraken, Gemini, Coinbase, to present users with data on trade volume, including giving updates on coin dominance, gas fee rates, and crypto news in general. And we're talking about coin dominance is of like what's kind of dominating the whole crypto space of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and gas fee rates, because when you pay transaction fees in the crypto world, they're called gas fees, and they fluctuate up and down. And then crypto news in general. So it's just a nice little site. It's almost back in the early days of what I talked about in series 1 with Web 1. You go to American Online and you have all of it there, the news of everything. So these are kind of like crypto sites and see the trading. It's like how you would see it. It's like on the stock exchange. So there's a lot of sites out there, but with the big three, the number one is Coinmarketcap. It's owned by Binance. So Binance, it's quoted as the world's most referenced price tracking website for crypto assets. And it's kind of hard to argue that they are not the world's most referenced, because they are number one. But there's also, we want to put a couple other sites on here. And Ryan and I both are fans of CoinGecko. So it's independently ran and it has a cleaner user interface. It's one thing I really like about it, and offers more comprehensive reports compared to CoinMarketCap. And the last one, Nomics. So Nomics is praised for being unbiased towards the crypto space. And what we mean by that, we're actually going to take you to these sites here and kind of teach you how to navigate these sites and what to look for when you look at these sites. And when you just go to a site, you might be like, well, what is all this mumbo jumbo, all this information? There's a certain way to read it, and when you go to the sites and what you're looking for. So Nomics is just it's praised for being unbiased because there's some listings of tokens that are not true to what the market cap is and things like that. And we'll give you an example of that.
But yeah, kind of what he's saying, you'll be able to see through us showing you kind of the bias that can happen when you have a centralized exchange that owns a public marketplace that shows like websites for tracking crypto assets like CoinMarketCap.
So we'll start with the big daddy himself, coinmarketcap.com.
Yeah, so here you can also kind of tell CoinMarketCap is very much like a super user like friendly user phase, showing you like the trending at the very top, like the biggest gainers. And then yeah, the meat and potatoes you can see is just the prices. The percentage like 7-day, if it's up or down, 24-hour up or down, what the market cap is, 24-hour volume of the supply. What's the circulating supply, right? A lot of like Bitcoin has 21 million. That'll ever be produced. So it tells you what the open circulating supply is currently of that.
Let's go and click on Bitcoin, and once you click on one, you can see the entire page just for that particular token itself.
Yeah, so once you click on it, you can tell all kinds of information about it, not just this is the current price of Bitcoin. Oh yeah, almost back up to 40K. This is nice. So you can see towards the right, circulating supply that's out right now is 19 million. Underneath that, you can see the max supply is 21 million that I said. And then the total supply out there's the 19 million. Top left,
can you
can
explain
that
real quick? Can you explain
just
the difference between what this, because I think this is pretty crucial. It's pretty important when you're looking at tokens or certain things to invest in. I think it's a key factor of your choice of investing.
Yeah, so circulating supply is very important because it tells you the amount of tokens, right? So if there's an unlimited amount, then that means that the value of the token can be diluted down an unlimited amount. But if there's a set supply, which Bitcoin has of the 21 million, there's only going to be that many made. There's not going to be any more after that produced. So there's not going to be inflation after 21 million are produced. Which
it'll
is a big key difference
in a lifetime. Yeah, it'll never be, no more will ever be minted more than 21.
Mm-hmm. And then the US dollar, as on the opposite side, they print more and more of that supply all the time. There just has to be an event happen, or that they say they need to do it, and they'll make the circulating supply even higher. Like what we've talked about in the first one a little bit with the inflation. And that's what attacks your purchasing power. And that's ultimately, since the supply of Bitcoin is only going to be 21 million, and the supply of the US dollar is crazy, like trillions, and it's only going to grow, the price of Bitcoin is only going to go up even if Bitcoin doesn't get used more because of that, just because of the mechanics of the US dollar being printed like it is. And that's why, having a fixed supply for a cryptocurrency is very valuable. And that's where it retains its value as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And over here, right on with CoinMarketCap, and each of these sites kind of have the same information, but it's just kind of placed differently. That's why we're talking about navigating. We use CoinMarketCap to introduce you what these numbers mean and what these stuff, and then we'll just show the other couple sites. So over here to the left, this is where we were just talking about earlier. So if you really want to know what Bitcoin site is, the official site, going to these trusted coin aggregator sites will tell you. If I go to bitcoin.org, that's the official Bitcoin site. So they'll have the listed here, white papers. Should we get into that this time? I mean, what this is officially, or is that?
Yeah, you can click. You can click on it, right? So yeah, for cryptocurrencies, they should have a white paper. And that'll basically tell you just the fundamentals of what the coin is, what it's supposed to solve, and how it works.
So if we scroll down, you can see the price charts for 1 day, 7 days to year of all time. It won't show you. See, like Bitcoin came out to January of 2009. It only goes back so far on these sites. So this just goes back to 2013. What's neat is a lot of them have the converters too. You want to know how much one Bitcoin's worth. Say if I just want to invest $1,000 US dollars, you can see how much Bitcoin that's going to be. You can flip it to. So this is helpful too if you want to look to invest a certain one, how much you want to invest and what you're going to get in return.
Yeah. What you're saying, it's a good tool to be able to kind of see if you're looking to invest, to be able to see how much, like, okay, how much would I get if I did put this much in?
Right. Yeah. And a lot of these sites too will explain what the coin is. And I know mobile app version of Coinbase does a pretty good job too. It kind of explain what tokens are, but they don't have. I notice a lot of things on Coinbase, they do not have an explanation of what the token is. So these sites right here will always have the description here. So of course, Bitcoin being the big daddy, Mac daddy of it all, the inventor of cryptocurrency, they're going to have a lot of information for Bitcoin. So it's just fairly interesting. These are just trusted sites to go to. Anything else about like on the token page here you want to kind of go over?
You can kind of see like the 24-hour like high and low. So if you're kind of
That's
like
right.
if you use that calculator to like what he was showing you to see how much you put like $985 in, how much of the coin, you can kind of look at the 24-hour high and low to kind of get a feel like, okay, this is a good time to kind of maybe start dollar cost averaging or put some of my money in the market, or is it way up right now and I think it's going to go down. Yeah, Bitcoin's like what he's saying is the big daddy of them all. It leads the market, right? Whatever Bitcoin does, if it's going up, you're going to see most coins that are in the market to go up. If Bitcoin is going down, you're going to see most coins in the market go down with it.
Okay, and yeah, sneak two more about, like you said, the 24-hour low. Sometimes if I'm kind of getting introduced to a new project and seeing the current price, I kind of like to come down here and see what's the all-time high and low. Where's it currently at compared to since its existence? If you're kind of in the technical analysis, it's also kind of quick read too of like maybe where it's going, where the current price is, and how long it was at its lowest. It was its lowest at 6 months ago. Maybe that might be a sign of where it's headed in the next couple months. So it's just interest. So it's all-time low Bitcoin. Oh, well, see, that's not the complete all-time low from what that's not. Yeah, it's not, I guess it's not too trustworthy. Because like I said, they're only showing 2013 on here. So that's the all-time low.
I guess I'd pay $65 for a Bitcoin, but
yeah. So it's definitely been lower than that, but what their charts, yeah, that's lowest that they have their data that they collected for this. And of course, if it goes back 2013, Bitcoin's one of the only ones that goes that far back as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Go back to the main site. Just kind of talk about, now we see our ranking numbers here. This does not mean number one best crypto, you better invest. Ethereum's number two. You're like, well, I heard Ethereum, I heard of Bitcoin, so that's number one. Number two, okay, I need to invest in the other ones right below it. These are rankings of market cap. You want to talk a little bit about that? Yeah,
so they rank them by like TVL, basically, like the total value lock, basically, of like US dollar to the circulating supply. What is the amount of like value locked up in the coin? And so like what he's saying, it's misleading, right? It looks like, oh yeah, these are all the ones listed right here, and there's no coins here that have a higher market cap. And so this is an instance where a centralized exchange like Binance owning a site that is just supposed to be informational, telling you about cryptocurrencies, can have a conflict of interest. So for them, if there's not a coin that they're going to be listing, they're most likely not going to want to promote it on their page that shows all these cryptocurrencies. One that has a very high market cap that they do not list on the front page, even though they should, because this is ranking off of market cap, is Hex. And Hex is a coin that is listed on Nomics, and that's what Teddy was saying earlier. With their like what they hang their hat on is being unbiased with the coins they report.
Yeah, like why would they do this? Ryan and I are supporters of Hex, and it's a great token. It's a great system, and it's just it's its own weird entity. It moves at its own rate too. When Bitcoin goes down, the market goes down. A lot of these other coins follow, but Hex does its own thing, and just the way that's designed and that's different. So there's some bias against it. Talking about how it's not a real token. Fine, you can believe that, you can feel all that, but the truth of the matter is the market cap in Hex is really high, and it should be ranked here. So we hear from number 10 to 20. It should be right in here, because what we're looking at is
should be about 19 billion.
19 billion.
Yeah. So if you looked up Hex,
I'm gonna do that in a second. Yeah. So 18. There's not 18 billion, then 28 billion. So it should be right there at number 10. So if we type in Hex, I'm just going to find a number real quick, because you can actually you don't have to go and scroll down and search. You just search for a crypto asset here, and you click on it. Right here underneath the name, it'll show you the ranking. So here on this site, it's ranked 201. So market cap all truly does not matter, because it could be a really great project, really great token that's starting out. There's only a few $1 million market cap, but it's a fantastic project. So these are just the ones with the highest market cap. A lot of these, what Ryan talked about earlier, are stable coins, you know. So I would have to scroll down. If you just kind of was looking at these projects, go all the way down. There's 100. I got to go. It's kind of an odd number too. 201. So that means they
It's like
purposely
page
pushed
4.
it to page 3, I believe. So it'll be at the top of page 3. So $25 billion market cap, kind of fishy. So let me go back down to what's page 2. What's the 200? Let me go fast here. The one right below it. So it's 200. Yeah. So number 200 here, 208 million, 209 million, 213. So we're not even at the billions, but all of a sudden you go to page 3 and now we have not one project that's in the billions, but we got a few. So it's a little, you have anything to add to that? I mean, just a little biased here going on. Some of these
Yeah,
projects.
to show like just don't believe everything you like see, right? On these websites, kind of use them all. It's kind of similar when we're talking about wallets. Like each one has their use in as a tool. But yeah, just don't focus on one aggregator like Coinmarketcap for your information. You use Coinmarketcap for some, use CoinGecko, use Nomics, and compare. Don't just kind of use one as your gospel, basically.
Right.
Only.
And I know we just got done praising about how these sites are trusted, and they are with the information given per the token, you know, but it's just how they rank it and how they feel,
how they present,
present it themselves. Yeah. I don't want to like, you know, act like we're contradicting our trustworthiness with the site. Just the top, you want to kind of talk a little bit too about the top here when you get to go to Coinmarketcap. It's probably a good place to start when you go and check in for the market that day. We have the dominant. I guess we just to talk about these last two here, the dominance and gas. Like, why is this important?
So the dominance kind of tells you how much of the market is made up of Bitcoin, how much of the market is made up of Ethereum, where you have the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies. Currently, Bitcoin is 41.5% of that market, and Ethereum is 19.3% of that full market cap amount you're seeing there. And so as you can see, as Bitcoin dominance, especially to give a good example would be if we're in a bull market and Bitcoin dominance is super high, if Bitcoin dominance starts to go down, you're starting to see people that are getting out of Bitcoin with their profits and going into other coins. And that's usually when you see the kind of like the altcoin season rise. And looking at that dominance number can kind of give you a good kind of like what the pulse is of what's going on in the market.
Okay. And then with gas here, like we said, it's like you said, transaction fees, they have gas. And then this is kind of an odd number, the GWE. The GWE, you can kind of look at the GWE as in like, hey, gas now is $3.25 a gallon. Yesterday it was $2.75. What the hell's going on? You know, we just jumped 50 cents. So instead of having decimals like that and dollar prices, they go by numbers of GWE. So about 25, I mean, GWE, and this is ETH gas. And there's going to be different ecosystems coming out with their own kind of gas. And really high GWE would be about 65, and pretty decent nowadays will be around like 20 GWE. So this is more 37. In my personal opinion, this is kind of, you know, more in the middle of where we're at. Even 20 is still pretty decently high for GWE. You can almost look at it, GWE, as almost like it's kind of dollars in a way. Like you might pay like around a $37 fee. It matters how high the transaction amount you want to move is, you know, but usually I think 37 GWE, you could get away with maybe like a $10. Tell me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but $10.
Yeah, like a $10 fee.
So it can fluctuate too. So it's a weird new thing going off crypto. And it's not new to crypto, but just it's part of the crypto space that's new to people when they join. They have to do something else to try to another terminology to understand and learn. But yeah.
Essentially, if you can understand like Ethereum and gas fees, you're going to be able to understand gas fees for any other network. It's just basically holding that network's token, and that's when you make a transaction on that network, the fee that you pay to make that transaction happen is just in that network's main token.
Excellent. Awesome explanation there. So here's CoinGecko. Already looks pretty similar here. We got the dominance at the top. We got the GWE. And then here we have our list. So let me just go into Bitcoin since that's what we used last time. So the layout's just going to be a little different. And I'm more of a fan.
Yeah, I think it's cleaner.
You got because like I said, what I personally like to go look at, and that one of that is when I look into a project, I'm looking at the circulating supply, what's out there right now. And sometimes the max supply right now you see is 21 million, but the whole max supply is not even out yet. There's only 19 million that are actually out there circulating. So we're still going to be minting Bitcoin actually for like another 120 years. Which is a whole different story to go down. We'll go down that rabbit hole of why that's like that. But it's just, I like looking at the total supply, max supply. And over here to the right, it has the websites, the white papers right there. But then you have your charts, your set 24 hours, and then the statistics are right here to the right of that. Because that's something that I know Ryan and I both like looking at. And you don't have to, like on Coinmarketcap, we had to scroll down and it was over to the right. Just the layout's better. I get all my information. Boom, left, right, scroll down, left, right. I'm done. So yeah, we're fans of this. And also it's nice to go down and quickly see the markets of where you're able to purchase this. And that's where they have, like they show the exchanges where you'd actually be able to swap into this token or buy a token.
But yeah, to me, like this is much cleaner because what you say, like the information I'd like to see is what's the circulating supply, what's the supply out. Kind of first and foremost, like underneath there, and I like the way they've got the stuff on the right side too, and listed out like that, with the wallets that are with it, the different places you can see the explorers,
and the community there. We talk about this in the series 1 as well. Like this is a nice trusted place to go to the actual official Twitter, the actual Facebook. You can trust CoinGecko on that. So Shiba,
do Shiba
number 15.
Yeah, do Shiba.
God damn it, for some reason still floating in there. Okay, so the contract, this is what I was looking for, everybody. So it's the Ethereum address. If you want to add a token, if you set up a MetaMask, you need to add token addresses so it can show up in your wallet. So you click on here, you click the copy and add to MetaMask. And if a token is supported on multiple wallets, you'll have a list of it here, a little pull down tab, and you can just click and copy the code, and it's right there. That's the trusted way to add the things to your MetaMask. So you can always trust in CoinGecko. It's easy to find. It's right there.
But yeah, to me, like what you said too, Teddy, it's just cleaner. I like the way that the layout is way more than CoinMarketCap. But you still have the same issue with the censorship. There's no hacks listed here.
Wonder where it's at here. Since it was 201, make sure it's on the top of the third page. It says not even ranked.
No rank.
There's not even ranked at all. I just saw where you would even find it.
You wouldn't find it. You probably wouldn't find it, honestly. Maybe if you went to like page 1500.
So here's a pull down tab over here. If you see the mouse, 3 dots, and there's on the Polygon network and also Harmony network. So that's the contract ID to add to your MetaMask using a different ecosystem. So you can find it all right there using CoinGecko. All right, you want to move on to Nomics then?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. It's set up differently. They kind of close to CoinMarketCap here at the top gainers, just added. But now if we scroll down here to the true market cap,
Yep.
Number 10, right there's Hex. Because it has a market cap of almost 20 billion right now. So yeah, this is where we're saying it's unbiased. And what I do like about Nomics, it kind of shows, I think it says correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the past 7 days.
I think so. The last 7 days activity.
Yeah, so that's just neat to see. It's like what moved up in ranks and what moved down. It's just a quick visual aid to help with that. So it's up a little different. And they have the Hex USD kind of predominant right here. Like you can quickly just see how much things are worth. If you want to get 1,000 Hex, what would that be? $146 USD. So, and some people might prefer this. Like it's nice showing the candles instead of it automatically has the candles instead of the wave graph set up. But you can move this around. You can move it to the wave, but the candle's already set. So some people might prefer that already having that set, and it's just right there ready to go. But I see they just have the circulating supply, but I don't quickly see the max supply of the tokens anywhere.
Yeah, so, I don't either.
And you got to kind of go down here more. Yeah. But it's nice techniques. They have pie charts. So if you're more, this helps more visual aid to see pie graphs and things like that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they have the about section here at the bottom as well. And they have their markets of where the exchanges and stuff where you can find to buy and swap into this token. It's a good guide to just kind of start learning about the crypto spaces, learn about these tokens and the projects and what they do. I know that's pretty much it for this PowerPoint presentation. We're going to go to the Q&A next, which I won't be a part of today. But before we go, I know, Ryan, you're talking about you're the founder of CTG. What does that entail and stuff, and how can I actually get a hold of you?
Yeah, so continue to grow CTG. It's a company that I founded, started for doing crypto consultations, where I do portfolio recommendations, help you with portfolio rebalancing. So if you have crypto already and you want to maybe take some profits out or move things around, or you're not sure like what you should do with that, I can help you with rebalancing. The biggest thing I can help with really is I made a custom Google sheet that can help you track your basis. So where you bought it, when you bought it, what the amount was. And these are the most, that's actually the most important thing you'll need, like what I talked about in series 1, for the ability to do anything with your crypto, like in the tax legal space. Because if you don't know your basis, you're not going to be able to do much of anything.
So, what's the best way to get a hold of you right now? Because you're currently getting your everything built. Your website's getting built right now as we speak.
Shout out to LCube Studios. Yeah, they're actually building my website. It's ctginv.com. That's also the social medias for me as well. Give me a follow on there. That I don't have much up yet, but I will. ctginv.com is going to be the website to be able to book a consultation with me and get a hold of me.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to this yap for an hour or so, and we'll catch you later.
Hey everyone, thank you for staying until to the end of the series. We actually, just want to take the time because I want to invite you guys to register to our website to sign up for the Crypto Insight Series 2. It's for you to get an NFT at the end of the session. You guys should see it up at the screen right now. Thank you, and then we're gonna move in right into the live Q&A. So let me just start bringing in our panelists, our experts. I hope you're ready to yeah. So let's see who do we got. We got Ryan.
Hey
Ryan, how you doing, Ryan?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's like nice to have you here on the stage. Before we get started, hey, hi KK, how you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, doing really good, man. What'd you think?
Whew. My guy, that's a lot of information right there. it's just amazing. I mean, you guys cover a lot. I mean, I have a couple of questions already. It's like so much like to process and everything. But before we get started, I just wanted to ask you guys, can you guys just expand a little bit on how to get started with crypto? Like, I just want to make sure you guys share your point of view and what are the best practices in the order operations for someone who's just starting out.
Yeah, so kind of the entry point, kind of the gateway is kind of what we talked about in this whole series 2, right? With the different wallets, how you get onto the crypto space, how you get your fiat onto the blockchain is through those different wallets. So that's how you get started through getting and investing into crypto. Other than that, there's all kinds of different ways. If you're even if you're a graphic designer, video specialist, maybe someone in the crypto space that's an influencer that knows their stuff on that, but doesn't know how to edit videos, maybe you could do that for an influencer like that. There's all kinds of different ways that you can get into the crypto space. If you're into it already, just figure out your skills with whatever it is, and get really good at them, and figure out a way to use those skills and leverage them into the space.
I see. How about you, QK? What are your thoughts? QK, you still here with us?
Oh yeah, QK is muted.
Yeah. Let's see. Can we unmute QK?
Oh, there we go.
There you go, QK. Can you? Nope.
Ooh.
I guess she will be right back.
Yeah, she'll be back. Yeah, she'll be back.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kind of like with the getting started in the space, right? There's all kinds of different wallets you can do to get into the space investing wise, and then there's all kinds of different ways you can utilize your different skill sets to be in for crypto space itself.
Hey, QK, you're back. Let's see.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you. We can't still hear you. Yeah. No. Something going on. She's gonna be right back, guys. No worries. You guys, she got a lot to say.
Yeah.
But no
We can go
worries.
to the first question if you want while she's doing
Yeah.
that.
So just to get started, why is the I know you guys cover it up in your session. Why is the white paper so important?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. We can hear you now, QK.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just
now.
switched the earphones. Sorry, guys.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, just QK, now that you're here, before we move into the next question, it's like, yeah, what are your thoughts on how to get started? Like, with crypto, I'm here on the first time, and what will you tell them? Where should they go, like, to get started today, like to start investing, let's say, or start buying the first crypto?
Absolutely. So Rian and Teddy gave some great basic foundations as far as securing your wallet, securing your coins, and how you need to move when you actually start bringing in crypto. One thing that I will say, and I don't know if Rian had already said this, so excuse me if it's reiteration, but do your own research on coins. And also when you do your own research, know what type of risk tolerance you have. Because crypto is so volatile, you're going to have big ups and then big downs, and especially if you're trading on a day-to-day basis, which crypto is a great tool for doing that. Just understanding your risk tolerance, which is very basic investing, right? And I don't know people who are currently investing in crypto also invest in stocks or portfolios, but that's probably going to be one of your core things. Once you know your risk tolerance, then you can make your decisions on what you're actually going to put your money in, which makes it a lot easier when you face volatility and also securing your assets and moving forward. So that would be my number one, best basic advice for people.
Amazing. Thank you, QK, for that. Yeah, I mean, just as a disclaimer, we're not a financial advisor, right? We're not financial advisors. Anything that you decide to invest, it's at your own risk. But yeah, we definitely like you guys have the knowledge of how to get started at least, right? Yeah, so the next question is that I have for you guys. I know you guys, especially you, Ryan, you cover this about the white papers. How is that white papers are so important, and how do they relate to the blockchain?
Yeah, white papers are important because
yeah, let's go.
We started talking. Go ahead.
This is very short. Like the white paper, it basically tells you what the cryptocurrency's purpose is and what it's going to do, right? Without that, just kind of going back to what QK said with the DYOR, do your own research. That's part of doing your own research, is understanding what the cryptocurrency is before you invest in it. Don't just go, oh, I want to make a quick buck, so I'm going to put this money in there. Put the money in there after you've done your research. You believe in the coin, you believe where it's going to go and what the founders are doing. The white paper is the biggest and best way to do that. Because if you read the white paper, if there is like a very short white paper, there's probably not very good fundamentals for the coin that you're looking into.
Absolutely. And I would say too, with the white papers, look for protocol information as it pertains to blockchain, right? Because a protocol is going to, another term, a vocabulary term, the protocol basically tells you how the blockchain is going to be run, how that actual token or coin is going to move, if it's within an ecosystem. It gives you a lot of information, even to the point of predicting what that coin's use case may be. So if that's a part of doing your research, if you're wanting to see, is this going to be more towards smart contracts? Is this because of fees? Are we using this coin, for certain types of gaming and things like that? You can generally find that information in the white paper, and then you're able to move forward from there because it gives you the information. So it's super important to know it for blockchain purposes, because obviously your cryptocurrency moves on the blockchain. So the protocol and the white paper will say how that blockchain will actually be utilized.
Amazing. I mean, that's a lot of information right there. I mean, let me just piggyback on that. Let me just highlight it. It's like when you guys do the research on the white papers, you guys gonna understand the technology side of it and the use case. So the value, you're gonna determine if there's a value on that coin, on that cryptocurrency, on that token, and that also kind of goes back with the NFTs. And if you guys can, if I'm not wrong, right, guys, like that's why NFT are so special, right? And because of the underlying technology that is behind it, and that goes, it goes like especially for the, just to confirm, is that like the NFT roadmap when you starting an NFT launching a new NFT collection, a roadmap, can it be prepared like a white paper? Can it, what are your guys' thought on that? Like, oh, and before you guys answer, I just want to say the audience who are watching this live, like, please drop the questions on the live stream. We are here to answer your questions as we keep on moving on. And then yep, so just keep on going. Yeah, QK, I'm just gonna pass down to you. What are your thoughts on what I just said about the roadmap and the white paper? You think they relate?
So with NFTs, it's interesting because there's not like a straight ownership proponent to that, but the underlying use case for subscriptions, concert tickets, membership to a certain type of area, or even to have season passes, that technology is really where I see NFTs being super important, especially for creatives, because now you can give people like maybe a pre-release open based off of them owning an NFT, which is going to authenticate that they are a member, quote unquote. So I think when it comes to a white paper, you want to see kind of that protocol that's written in. But I will say that's a bit different, and Ryan can also speak on this as well, between NFT white paper as far as what it's going to actually be used for as it pertains to coins and tokens and ecosystems versus an NFT, which NFTs are generally going to be on an Ethereum-based ecosystem. So if you're using NFTs and you have a certain coin that you're using for that, it's going to be on an ERC20, I believe. But yeah, if Ryan wants to speak more on that as well.
So I do think they're different, but so I think a coin that has a white paper can also have a roadmap, right? For the developers, they say they want to do this in phase 1, phase 3 of a coin. So I think a roadmap for NFTs are somewhere like a roadmap for a token, more than the white paper for a token.
Okay, interesting. So I guess you should throw it out there, like a Bored Ape Jack Club, right? They came up with their own coin and they have their own NFT collection. But yeah, how about we move away from NFT? Let me just ask you another question. It's how will someone appeal or handle a phishing attack? I'm gonna start with you, Ryan.
So that is a thing where you got to be very careful, and that's why we say the BYOR is because of that. If you are the recipient of a phishing attack or a scam, usually there's not much you can do about it. There's usually nothing you can do about it. These people usually they've made a contract with a website that you just willy-nilly connected your MetaMask or hot wallet to, just thinking you're going to get something free because you heard somewhere on Twitter you're going to get something free, and then they take your money from your account. There's not really any recourse for you to be able to get that money back. Because on the blockchain, it's like when you send the money, it's trustless. It's not a trusted service to do that. It's trustless. So there's no one's permission you need to do it. So there's no way you can actually reverse the transaction or anything like that. The entity or whoever you send it to has to be benevolent and send it back to you. And we all know that's slim to none, and Slim just died.
Yeah, I'll say too for that. So a few things. To Ryan's point is completely correct. You're not really going to be able to do much with a phishing attack, unfortunately, because one, it does empower you to have your own control over your finances and what you're doing. So those codes and kind of putting those security measures in place is how you make sure that you don't have to go through phishing attacks or pulling your assets off of the internet, which will be a warm wallet, and exchange into a cold wallet, which Teddy and Ryan went into more, especially if you're going to be pulling it into something like a hard drive, pen drive, where you're pulling it completely away from all exchanges, and all you're going to be using is just that one thing. So a few items that you can do. One, make multiple areas where you're able to encrypt your actual keys. So you can encrypt on a computer that maybe you're not using for everyday use, or a hard drive. Put the same information that's on your encrypted wallet and put it on that device. That way you have a quote unquote backup. Now that won't help you with the phishing appeal, but that will help you kind of, if you are set for whatever reason your one wallet is hacked, then you at least have a backup where you can cut it off immediately once you see what's going on, and try and save some of the assets that are already on your cold wallet. You don't want that connection to always be there between your cold and your warm, because then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of you moving things over to a cold wallet in the first place. There also is some websites and some things, Reclaim Crypto, which again, don't go to these websites without doing your own research, because the website in and of itself can also be dangerous. However, there are different people that are seeing this problem in the legal community, and technically you can treat crypto as assets. So we can put this in the category of asset recovery. And by doing that, you have certain recourse legally that you can go to court with. Now, 3 things with this. One, they ask that you know who the person is who actually stole from you, which by nature, if you knew who was stealing from you in the first place, you probably would have prevented it. But if you do know, because there is ledgers that are being done with each transaction, it's not really hard to circle back. Well, generally, it's not really hard to figure out where your coins went. If you can figure out where your coins went, then you then have recourse, at least the last IP address that was exchanged, or the last node that you saw your coins from. Another way is to move quickly. Have the exchange freeze your assets as soon as you see something that is not up to par. That's one of the best ways to get your crypto back. Now, if the actual exchange freezes your crypto, that's a whole other story, because they are free to do what they want, because technically not your keys, you haven't pulled it off. Technically, that's not your crypto, and so they can move how they see fit. But they're like, oh, we'll do that, but maybe 2 hours from now. In 2 hours, you could be emptied out, right? So it just depends. Moving as quickly as possible and really being vigilant and paying attention to your accounts. If you are a victim of a phishing attack, there are certain things you can do, but as you're hearing the theme between me and Ryan, it's not a lot that you can do, and it's not going to be something significant after the fact. So what we're really saying is be proactive about it, because being reactive is going to put you in a much different boat than if you can be proactive at it.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's a lot of information. I hope the audience is taking notes. That's just a lot of knowledge right there, and just for you guys to know, we want to encourage you guys to get started with crypto, but at the same time be protected. So we're giving you all of these resources for you to, it's like don't blame Crypto Insight, or don't blame the panelists for starting on with the wrong foot. But it's just we're giving you everything, right? The 101s to get started, and also the pros and the cons. So we want you guys to look at each side of the coin, and you guys got to stand in the middle, because you got to make your own decision. So that's my personal opinion, and I do want to say for the last question, why are sites like Coinmarket, CoinGecko, and Nomics so important? I'm gonna pass it on to Ryan, or now Ryan cover it, and then we're gonna go to you, QK.
Yeah, this is actually a good question to have right after the phishing scam one, because the biggest way to prevent and be proactive is through using sites like CoinMarketCap, Nomics, and like CoinGecko, because it gives you the ability to really drill into what the coin is. It gives you links to what the website is, where the development team is. So you can kind of see if the developers are actually public, if they have a LinkedIn, if they're actual real people that are talking, doing things. So if they are that way, they're more likely to not rug you, because people in real life know who they are. But if they're people that are just cloudy, like there's a picture of a dog or a cat NFT, and you don't know who they are, what their name is, how long they've really been working in crypto, they're doing the Satoshi Nakamoto kind of route, that's actually bad, because they're more able to rug you and take your money and have no recourse from it. No one knows who they are. No one knows where they live. But if you have a developer like Hex that we talked about in this with Richard Hart, he is very public. he's talking all the time. He's doing projects that are being successful. If you have developers that are like that, or developers that go from one project to a next that are public like that and have projects that are working, you're more likely to have a coin that's probably got some good fundamentals behind it. And then if you believe in the coin itself, then invest. And you can do the research through those sites like Coinmarketcap, Nomics, CoinGecko, because they give you resources that give you like true resources to get to things that give you actual information to see.
I see. So far, it's we have, just to recap, we make sure you read the white papers, make sure you follow the team behind it, like who's actually building this project, the coin, the token, the NFT collection. Go through your own research on them, and then the more public they are, the more the most likely people are following them, and then it's unlikely for you to actually get scammed and lose money. Because especially as once again we're highlighting, having like using cryptocurrencies is like when you send them money, there's no way back. So and then it's a whole process, and we're like giving you a lot of resources right now. And then we also have QK. I just want to hear you, and then we have one last question from our audience before we jump into that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Ryan kind of covered that pretty nicely as far as why you should use them. It's going to be security purposes, mainly so that you know kind of what you're getting into, again, doing your own research, and also being able, again, to see, does this coin look fishy? What is the actual rotation? What's going on with it? So yeah, he covered it pretty well. I don't have too much to add to that.
Okay, great. So let's just jump into it. This is by Kevin Williams. This question is, are crypto IRAs a good idea? And recommendations for cases for an IRA. I think QK, I know this is not your strong, but I know that this is Ryan's strong. But you want to before our expert talks about it, you want to go and give your personal opinion?
Right.
Right.
So he can make it sound a lot better than me. Yeah, I would say the one thing with that is if you're looking for an IRA, that's more of a traditional savings. And of course, crypto can be used as a store of value, but you're also going to want to take into the account the volatility and then what makes up what you're using to make up your IRA in crypto. That's also new ground. So also remembering that crypto is really treated as a security and making sure that that's really where you're wanting to go and that that's actually going to be a store of value based off what you're using to actually put in there. But I'm going to let the expert speak more.
All right. Yeah. How about you, Ryan? You're probably too strong right here.
Definitely. So yeah, I definitely think that crypto IRAs are a good idea. Now, Gemini actually offers a product that's partnered with a company called Direct IRA that allows you to do that, to be able to either roll over your current IRA into that, and then it gives you the ability, being powered by Gemini, to access all the crypto that they have on their exchange. Another way you can do that gives you access to crypto that's not also on Gemini's exchange is you can create an entity, an LLC for your IRA that you control. And then, but the thing is, you're going to have a few hurdles and steps once you do that. You're going to need to have an operating agreement. It's going to need to be an official LLC that operates as an IRA for you, and that'll allow you to make a bank account, have an EIN number for the LLC IRA, and then you can actually make different wallets with different exchanges yourself. So you can have a phone that has all these exchanges on the phone, and then you can buy whatever cryptocurrencies you want on Kraken, Gemini. You can make a MetaMask for your IRA that way. And it gives you all kinds of access to different coins.
And does that apply for single members or also for like multi-member LLC?
It would just be a single, like you literally just making a single member LLC for the IRA that you control.
Okay.
I will say too, for the LLCs, and just to answer your question too, Luis, it shouldn't matter, because if you're a multi-member or a single member, it's still going to be an LLC entity that you're creating, and then putting in for the operating agreement, getting that EIN, all of the rest of the logistical things are not going to so much matter as much as getting that entity filed. And I will say also, QKI Consulting, which is my consulting company, actually helps people create business entities, get EIN numbers, DUNS numbers, all of that together. And then as an attorney, business compliance attorney, I create operating agreements, contracts, and different documentation that you need to legalize your business. So those hurdles that Ryan is talking about, not so much of a hurdle if you hire a professional, to do it for you, because that all can be done in one full swipe, right? You can register your business, get an operating agreement, get an EIN number, bank account, which sounds like a whole lot of things. But for somebody that I literally do that on a daily basis, it won't take any time at all. And then you're actually set up to actually protect your wealth, right? So if you're looking at IRAs, if you're looking for long-term type of vehicles to hold your store of value, that is honestly the best way to do it. To create a vehicle, like Ryan said, like an LLC, like a trust, like an IRA, these things to hold your actual funds, and you're taxed differently on that, which I know today is not the tax thing, but I just wanted to go in there and plug a little bit. You guys who are watching this live, and as you're seeing it before, there are professionals that can help you set up these things so you're doing things correctly. So don't fumble around trying to do it yourself.
Yes. And yeah, let me just point it out too. Our panelist information is also in the video description of the YouTube. So you guys can actually book a consultation with them, and just tell them that you're coming from Crypto Insight, and they will know, they will give you special treatment, and it's just get it going. And we want to help you guys, the audience, and everyone who's watching. It's just like we want to get you started. Like, there are different ways of you actually either saving on taxes, making by investing in crypto, like the different shortcuts. And that's why we're here, and that's why we want you to subscribe, because you get this exclusive notes where we're going to be sharing with you guys, and then you guys can keep on learning, keep on doing your own research. So the research is just easier for you guys. You don't have to spend hours just running around. It's just, everything is just there. It's just following, and we're going to be piece by piece, right? Because we don't want to give you, overload you with so much information, because it's a lot. And we have spent already years learning all this. We already went through this, and now we're like, it's the time for us to share and give it back, because we see that this community is growing, and we want to be there. We want to help you. But yeah, so I just want to thank you, Ryan. Thank you, QK, for this amazing, session, for your opinion. And yeah, I mean, you guys want to say anything else before I move on to the next slide?
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Thanks to the LCube Studio. Big shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, LCube, for hosting this and putting this together. As always looks amazing. And then also thank you to the people who stayed throughout the whole time. I mean, I got a lot of information from Ryan and Teddy's presentation, and I've been in crypto for at least over 2 years now. So it's really cool to continuously learn things. And I just appreciate being here. And hopefully, if anyone has further questions, not only just hitting us up through consults, but we both also have social media, different platforms that you guys can reach out to. And we'll also be back for Crypto Insight series, the next series 3. Sorry, couldn't get that out. Where we'll be coming and giving more information. So super excited about that as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys. So yeah, so now I just wanted, before we end this session, I just want to encourage people to start building on Web3. So we have Unstoppable Domains. Unstoppable Domains is a crypto domain where you can actually, you can go online, you can scan that QR code, and just, it's get your own domain so you can start building it later on. So just lock it now. It's really cheap. You can just get it online. Just type in the domain name you want, hit buy, purchase, and that's it. You're good. And then later on, as we move on to the next series, I'm going to teach you guys how to link this to your website. So anyone who, it's already moving into the Web3 can actually go to your site by using that domain name. So go get, don't miss out. Go get your Unstoppable domain now, today, and then, you're helping us. And then, yeah, so I want to move on to the, to introduce LCube Studio. So we are a design and development studio. We turn your ideas into reality by creating a bespoke framework. We want to make sure that we make MVPs, build fully scale applications, anything. Like, think about it. Like, some people tell me, oh yeah, you guys make widgets for the web. I'm like, no, we don't make widgets. We make Ferraris for the web. That's because we like making your frame work. It doesn't matter which stage of your business you are, either you're in the early stages or you are in the, mid-size or enterprise company. We can do it. We have different background, different experience. So we have design, we have development, we have back end work, DevOps. So yeah, just contact us for a free consultation. And then I also want to thank our panelists, QK, Rian, and Teddy for coming in today, for sharing your content. Uh, there's a little background about them. There's their Linktree, Instagram, YouTube. So just go follow them. Follow us as well. There's an amazing people that you can make a consultation with them. You just hit them up. They're so open. You guys see them. They're so calm and so chill. They're here to help you. So go ahead. And then I also want to thank the LCube team for putting all this together. I want to thank Lucas and Senton, the other co-founders of LCube Studios, who we're putting all this together. Yeah, I'm just so thankful. And yeah, so this is, and last but not least, I want to thank you guys for sticking to the end for this amazing series. I'm going to have you guys, please don't forget to register. We're going to have the registration open for you guys to claim an NFT. So go fill out that form. You're going to put on this slide now for for you guys to go. You can just scan that and you can go to the form, fill out the form, and you guys can claim your, how to claim your NFT. You have until the end of today, until 6 p.m. Eastern time, so before we close they start taking the new request, and then you will be getting an email with a link so you guys can claim it. You can use your email address, or you can use your wallet address to claim it. And this is just a proof of attendance, right? So there's different types of NFTs out there. So this is just a special dedicated for Crypto Insight and LCube. So, and then this is just showing your consistency. And then we're coming up with a strategy to use this NFTs. So we're giving some value we're having a talk with our panelists. So the more you have, the better. I'll tell you that. But yeah, thank you guys. To the next series.